What do I recommend for a home Cisco lab? You wanna see? Let's go. Welcome to CCNA 200-301, Implementing and Administering Cisco Solutions. Chapter number 3, Building a CCNA Lab Environment. In this chapter, we will plan the ideal home lab environment for those studying for Cisco CCNA certifications. Routers. Let's talk about the routers. Router plays major role in the Cisco training. We will talk about the functionality of routers and their roles in the upcoming chapters. If you want to learn CCNA in an efficient way, then you should choose physical lab over the virtual lab. Physical lab has lot of benefits over the virtual lab. They provide the real world experience to the users. When you want to set up a physical lab for CCNA training, you should get the physical devices like routers, switches, wireless access point, wireless controller, etc. So when we are talking about the physical devices, the routers for the physical lab setup, I have 3 options for you. Option number 1, very cheap. Option number 2, effectively cheap. Option number 3, it is my best selection. Now let's talk about the option number 1, very cheap. Option number 1, very cheap. In this category, I have included some basic router models. They are not the latest model, but they are some basic model which we can still use for the Cisco training. Since they are old, they are cheap. In this category, we can include the Cisco 1700 series router, such as the model number 1721, 1750 and 1751. And also we can include the Cisco 2600 series. The exact model is Cisco 2611 we can consider. These models of routers are very cheap because they are old and most of them have 10 Mbps interface speed. They are very silent in the operation. There is no noise of the fan while it operates. Cisco 1721, Cisco 1750 and Cisco 1751, they are identical models with no major differences. Cisco 2611 has 2 Ethernet port with 10 Mbps speed. That is more than enough for Cisco training and practice. Now let's talk about the option 2, effectively cheap. This category included the medium level devices, so they are a little bit expensive than the option 1. In this category, we have included Cisco 2621XM model. They are coming with fast Ethernet interface with 100 Mbps speed. Then we have Cisco 2801. This model is coming with gigabit Ethernet speed with 1 Gbps speed. So they are faster. Now let's consider the option 3, my best selection. I would recommend to everyone to use this model for their Cisco training. It is Cisco 1921 model. They are very good models, so try to get this model for your Cisco training. They are coming with gigabit Ethernet interface with 100 Mbps speed. So this model is coming with 1 GB speed interface. Now let's talk about the switches. In the case of switch, I have 2 options. The option number 1 is always as like cheap products and option number 2 is my best selection. Let's see what is available in cheap and economical way. So in the option cheap, I have considered Cisco Catalyst 2950 switch and I have considered Cisco Catalyst 3550 switch. These switches are all Catalyst switches, so they are available in cheap price in the market. Now in my best selection, I have considered Cisco Catalyst 2960 and I have considered Cisco Catalyst 3750. Now let me explain how did I set up my Cisco CCNA physical lab topology. Same like shown in the picture, you can see multiple sites in my CCNA lab. Those are not a real geographical location, but I set up as a multiple site. Here I had set up my CCNA lab by considering three different locations. One is called Dubai, and another one is Delhi, and the third one is London. Actually, these are not the real geographical location, but I had set up the site in my CCNA lab with the help of a metro switch here. This metro E means that it is working like a switch that used to connect the multiple geographical location, but since I set up everything in my lab, I use one normal switch to connect all this together. So this is just an example for a site to site lease lane or site to site connection, whatever it is, the switching circuit. Okay, now the Dubai headquarters, it is connected to Delhi branch office and London branch office with the help of Metro E-Link. And the Delhi branch office and London branch office get the internet connection through the Dubai, because this is the only one internet connection available here. So they get the internet connection through the Dubai. So they communicate with the Dubai headquarters with the help of a Metro E-switch. Now the question is, how did I set up this geographical location in my Cisco home lab? So let me explain that. So in this picture you can see my Dubai location. This is my Dubai location site, and this is my Delhi office site, and this is my London office site. Here in Dubai site, I have one router here. This is my router, and I have two core switches here connected together for redundancy, and I have one access switches here, and all over the end user computers are connected to the access switch. And now in Delhi branch office, I have a gateway here, a router again, and I have a access switch here. For the London branch office, it is the same scenario. I have a gateway router here, and I have an access switch here. So these Delhi branch office and London branch office is connected to Dubai headquarters with the help of a service provider. But since we are setting up a home lab, I have connected one switch here, normal switch here, so that they work as a service provider. And the main internet connection is here, and it is connected to the headquarters. Now let's talk about the devices that I used in the infrastructure and the diagram and the rack setup about the Dubai headquarters network. So here you can see right side the right network lab I set up for the home CCNA lab, and the left side you can see the schematic diagram I used to set up this lab. So here you can see the Cisco 1921. This is our main router. This is our main gateway, and this same router you can see here. So this is the Cisco 1921 router. And after the Cisco router, we have connected two core switches, that is one Cisco 3750 and another Cisco 3750. These two switches you can see here. These are those switches. And for the access layer, I have used Cisco 3550. So this is the Cisco 3550 access switches. And I used two wireless access point for the Wi-Fi connectivity to LAP1142N Wi-Fi access point. So these are the two access point 1 and 2. And of course I am using the Wi-Fi access point, so I need a wireless LAN controller to manage this Wi-Fi access point. So I use this Cisco WLC 2106 model, that is this one. And the main gateway router is connected to the internet from the service provider, and the another interface is connected to the cloud Metro E switch, which is a normal switch I use here. So these are the setup I used in the Dubai headquarters infrastructure. Now let's go to the Delhi branch office. In this Delhi branch office, I have used one router Cisco 2621XM as the main gateway, and for the access layer I have used Cisco 2960. So these two devices you can see here, this is my router and this is my access switch. And from the router I have connected to Metro E Cloud, which here I used as a normal switch in my home Cisco lab. So this is the infrastructure detail in the Delhi branch office. In the same way, when we go to the London branch office, we have almost the same setup in the Delhi branch office. We have here the main router Cisco 2621XM, which is exactly this device, and we have Cisco 2960 access layer switch, which is this device. From the Cisco 2621XM router, one of the interfaces is connected to the Metro E Cloud. Here, Metro E Cloud, I used a normal switch, any brand normal switch we can use here, which I have used this switch, Metro E switch, any brand, and used one Cisco SG300 for the internet switch to connect to the internet. So this is my basic setup in the London branch office. So this is how I set up my Cisco home lab with the help of some economic devices in very efficient way. So in this chapter, we plan the ideal home lab environment for those studying for Cisco CCNA certification. We discuss about the Cisco home lab setup, and I show you some demonstration that I have used in my Cisco home lab environment. Thank you for watching.